I think we're ready to get started here. Hello world, and welcome to the Overtone Warpzone, a very special edition of the Overtone Warpzone, as you're going to follow along with me as I try to transcribe the song Round Clear from Wario Woods for the NES. This is the very last game to ever be released for the original Nintendo console. Also happens to be the only game for the NES that was rated by the ESRB. What was that rating? Maybe we'll find out together. Let's see. Kids to adults. May be suitable for players under 6. Amazing. This soundtrack was composed by Soyo Oka, or at least the one for the NES was. I'm pretty sure the Super Nintendo and NES soundtracks are like completely different. I haven't seen this transcribed anywhere online or in any MIDI or anything like that. So I figured let's give it a shot today. Let's have a listen to what this sounds like. This is Wario's Woods, NES, Round Clear. And that's the whole loop, ladies and gentlemen. So it's about 30 seconds long, and you can see I've already primed up my MuseScore file here. I've got the title and all that good stuff, and I've got square synth 1 and 2, bass synth, and percussion synth, because this is a song for the NES, and as we know, the NES uses 4 main instruments with the sampler as well, but I don't think the sampler is featured here. So we're gonna have a listen to this track. We're going to see if we can use our ears and a little bit of keyboard. I've got this fancy program called Mediculous that's going to help us figure out stuff as we go. There's a little bit of a delay between my keyboard presses, but it's a super cool program. Like, it's very versatile. So we're gonna do a little test here and see how this goes. All right, so I've figured out that this song is about 188 from a tempo tapper, and I think we're in the key of B flat. Sounds about right. So we already have our melody a little bit there. Let's see. And you can hear it's in this classic NES thirds harmony that's going on here. So let's find that note. First of all, we start with the quarter rest, I'm pretty sure. And then we go into eighth notes. And that would be a quarter note there. Ba, ba, ba. Ti, ti, ta, for those of you from elementary school. Ti, ti, ta. And all those quarter notes are going to be staccatos, but you know, we'll come back to that. Da, 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 da. Oops. Let's see if we've got that right so far. Oh yeah, and then the next one's dun 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 dun. Oops. So B flat C D, B flat C D. So you know what we're gonna do is it's the same rhythm exactly. It's just shifted down a little bit. So we're just gonna copy what we have here, paste it, and just move stuff down. So MuseScore is alright. Like, it's a free program. It does what it does very well. Sibelius would be the pro version of this kind of software, but this works just fine as well. All right, let's have a listen. So da 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 da, 1, 2, 3, da 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 da. So it comes in on the and of 3, right? So here we go. 1, 2, 3. And 4, and so oops. You know, you could do staccatos on those quarter notes. You could do eighth note and eighth rest. Right now I'm just leaving it because it's extra work and I don't need to do that right now. Here it comes. That last one is very square. It lands on the beat 4. Dun, 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 dun. Something like that. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see if we've got it. Dun, dun, dun. Oops. Dun, 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 dun. And was there anything after that in a song? Dun, 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 dun. Not in the melody, right? But then the melody kind of repeats itself, I think, in this next section, or at least kind of. I know that there's a little modulation or something that happens in it. So let's listen to the difference between our very beginning section of the song, these first 8 bars, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one is just a rest. And then we come back in here with pretty much the same melody, but it's a little bit different. So let's listen to how it's different. Here's A section. And here's A prime. So it changes. It starts a little bit lower, right? Because this one goes da-na-na-na-na-na. But the second one goes da-na-na-na-na. So it goes like I'll go a little bit lower here. That's the first way. The second way goes something along those lines, right? So we'll copy paste part of this much, at least the first 4 bars worth. Remember that this is just a bar of rest, so we're going to start right here. Ba ba bum ba bum bum ba bum 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 ba ba bum ba ba bum ba ba dum bum ba dum, and we land on the next bar bum. And now let's listen to how the rest of that line finishes in the melody. By the way, there's no right or wrong way to transcribe stuff, right? I'm starting with just the melody because it's what I've got in my head. So, you might start with bass because it's the foundation. You might start with percussion because it's maybe easier to isolate or something. I don't know. But for this one around, we're going to start with the melody. So here it is again. So that's very simple. 1, 2, 3, bum bum ba-dum. So let's go to the rests. Dun 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 dun. And then let's listen to how it goes after that. Bum ba ba bum 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 ba 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 bum. That's how it goes. Da 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 dun da da bum ba ba bum bum da da. Oops, da 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 da. Rest dun 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 dun. So those are all 8th notes, including the 8th rest at the beginning. Dun 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 dun. And let's just keep that at 8th note just because. Cool. So then we move into our B section, which is very different from A and A prime. Well, relatively speaking. And there, it's almost exactly 30 seconds. Then our loop begins again, right? So let's go. I'm gonna do everything in our first 16 bars here before we move on, I think. Next, I'm gonna do percussion because if I'm not mistaken, it's literally just the whole song. So I'm just, it's like hat, snare, hat, snare, hat, snare, that kind of thing. So let's figure out what kind of sounds we get. Interesting. Do we have anything other than a snare drum? Yeah, I don't know how drums work in MuseScore exactly, but maybe what I'll do is I'll spend a little bit of time here with instruments and trying to add, let's see, unpitched percussion. Bum, 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 bum. Let's just go that far for now, just because we're going to try and fill this all in first. Let's see how loud it is with our playback here. That's not too bad. Okay, I'm a little bit annoyed with the quarter notes, so oops, we're going to change them all to staccato. What I should have done is made them staccato before I copied and pasted. We'll go to articulations, staccato, and let's go to the next line. Staccato. Over here. Staccato. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Oops, back to the beginning. Really, everything should be staccato when you think about it. I might do that for now. Not that it just matters really for playback, right? Because if I was reading this score and performing it in some way, I would know to. So stylistically, it should be shorter, those quarters, right? But oh, who cares? You guys know what I'm talking about. So let's try another instrument here. We've got percussion, we've got bass. Let's do, percussion and melody. Let's do bass next. So it goes. So I'll just do eighth notes for the bass. Now, you guys may or may not know this, but I'm pretty sure most bass lines in NES music is really high pitched, and I think the triangle wave had problems playing really low for whatever reason, because it usually is a triangle wave for bass in NES music. So, let's see what we come up with. Dum, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This is a classic little the 3 part of the clave rhythm, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So 1 and 2 and. Comes in on the and of 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, dun dun dun, and it's the F because it's the 5th, and then the next one comes in on right on 4, and the rhythm is probably going to be the same for most of it, if I recall. Dun 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 dun. So we're going to do that copy paste thing here, and just move this down a semitone. So let's see. Dun, dun, So that's our next one. So let's move it down to G. Dun, dun. Yep. Bum, 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 bum. Dum, dum. So the next one's the same, just the G moves down. Sing a pattern, everybody. So F. Oops. And I bet the next one's E flat. It's a dun 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 dun. Like that. So down 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 E flat, which is this dun dun dun. But it ends on E flat, right? Because it goes dum 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 instead of dum dum dum. Let's double check that that's the case. Bum, bum, bum. Hear that? Bum, 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 bum. So these two go down now. Bum, bum, bum. And then I think C, bum, 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 bum. Probably walking up by half step or something. Bum, bum, bum. So, bum, 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 bum. And I think it just ends on that F. Bum, 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 bum. Like that. Let's see what we get. Technically, I mean, if I want the right stylistic feel, I would put, I would put eighth notes instead, but who cares? Let's see if that's right. Oh, there's another ding ding. So let's let's go back and fix that. So bum bum, but there's no final, no third hit this time around. Bum bum, just like that. Bum bum. So one would assume that similar to the last part, the melody, the first 4 bars are probably going to be the same. But let's have a listen and see what we got so far. I got to make these staccato if we want to make it sound stylistically a little bit better. Here we go. Hey, look at that. And then back to our regular bass line. I think the tempo's a bit fast, but who cares? We'll fix that in a little bit. Dum, dum. So wait, let's listen to that and let's compare it to our first bass line here. So here we go. Dum, 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 dum. So the third bar, just like before, is where we change. So we can copy this and paste it right here. Dum, 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 dum. So now we have a little bit of a change. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump down our speed a little bit. I've got this fancy pants little program, plugin extension for Chrome called Transpose. We're going to bump the speed down. We can bump it by increments of percents. So let's go to 75% for now and see if that helps us any better. So, here we go. So, F, B flat, C, D, E flat, E flat, I should say. All right. There it is. So let's get that. Ding, ding, da, 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 da. So it's mostly the same kind of clave feel. We just have an extra note in there. Ding, ding, ding. Rest. Da, 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 da. We're there. Excellent. So, ding, 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 ding. Let's listen to what comes after that. So, din, 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 din. Let's go that far at least. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and dum, dum. Rest. Dum, dum. Rest. Dum. So that'll be a G, I think. Yeah. Excellent. So let's go back. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, dun, 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 dun. Da, da, da. Hang on. I'll try and get that whole line there. Dun, dun, dun. Do, do, do. I'm sure it'll end on B flat, B flat, B flat, on the same B flats there. Da, 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 dun, 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 or maybe dun, 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 like that. I'll pick one of them for now, just in anticipation. I'm not sure which one it is, but dun, 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 dun. Oops. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. I'll do that and see if I'm right. Rest first. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. On an E flat, right? Da 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 da. Look at that. Let's make those all staccato and see if that helps us out. Staccato. So first of all, let's check if I'm right. Da, 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 da. Yeah, it walks down. The melody, I think, is the one that stays on all B flats, right? Do, 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 do. Yeah, that's right. So let's listen at full speed to what we have so far. We have 3 of the 4 instruments complete, going back up to 100%. There we go. And let's have a listen to our A and A prime sections here. All right, now let's listen to what mine sounds like. Hey, that's pretty much perfect. We're just missing that that harmony part, which does the classic video game thirds thing until A prime. It does this sustained counter melody kind of thing, starting right here. So let's go back and check it out. I'm not liking in the playback how loud the drums are, so I'm going to turn the dynamic down a little bit. We'll make it mezzo piano. See if that's good. We're going to go even less. Let's go piano. Not that I would, if I was asking someone to play this on drums, not that I would say play this piano. But just for the sake of the playback, the balance is a little bit better on that. Okay, let's see if we've got our counter melody. Let's have a listen. It should just be a third-ish below. Let's see. So it should be like, if this is our melody. Whoops. And then our counter melody should be. So like, I think that's what it should be. Let's just copy paste it and see what it sounds like. Bump it down to the right pitch. Let's just listen to that much and see if that sounds right. Sounds right so far. Oh, that. So then this last one is not a third, it's a fourth, right? So it goes like this. So the first one's. I wonder which one looks better. Actually, I'm going to open up my Meticulous app and see. And then it goes down to this. This one is definitely a fourth. And then it goes. Oops. The rest is thirds, though, I believe. So we'll copy this much, making sure that we adjust that little last part there. Yep. That one's the fourth. Let's see if that's right. Oops. There we go. Let's try that again. Sounds right to me. You know what I'm going to do already is just, I like the style better when these are eighth notes. So I'm going to change it. Please? Yes. So that way when I copy paste my harmonies, it's going to come in the way that I want it to. So let's do that. And I don't think that I put any. Oh, I did put these guys. I want them to be eighth notes. Dun, 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 dun. Everything's very plucky. I feel like if I were to decide on a set of instruments to cover this on, it might be some kind of plucky instrument, like, say, strings. Oh. And I think that's also going to be our third harmony. Oops. Let's see. It's a little more sparse, right? It just hits on some strategic notes. Dun, 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 just on those notes. So it goes. I think C, D on those notes. Da, da, da. Where are we for the da, 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 da. Oops, da, na, na. Pretty sure that's how it goes. I'm going to add that and just listen back on my playback and see if that sounds right. Dun, dun, dun. And I'll make those staccato, of course. Here we go. That sounds right. And then this has a third below it, I believe. Dun, dun, dun. Let's bump down the speed again to 75 to see if I've got that right. Or 70. Oh, it's an F. Da, 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 oops. Da, da, da. So that whole section goes from here, this note, ba, 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 goes like that. So it's in sixths now, which is the same thing as a third, really. When you think about it, it's just an inverted third. This first one is an F, so it's we start with a fourth at the beginning. Ba 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 da. Da, da, na. And then it's all staccato, of course. So let's listen to that from here. Sounds right to me. So here we are up. Oh, that's already our A prime section. So here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Boom, dun, 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 dun. That's gonna be our synth 2 doing that little walk up. Dun, 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 dun. So we'll start with the rest, and it should be F, G, G sharp, A. Yeah. And then it goes into this counter melody thing. So let's listen to that again. It actually is down an octave. Let's try that out from here. I'm going to go full speed from the beginning so you can compare, see if I've got it. Here's the real version. Whoops. And now here's my version. Yes, sounds exactly right. And then I'm gonna guess this is a whole note on D in this bar. Da, na, na. No. I wonder if it's down here or if it's up. Let's have a listen. I would say down. And then half notes. Ba, na, I think. Oh no, just a whole note. Da, na, na. And then I think in this bar goes back to harmony. Let's have a listen. Oops, I want to watch as it goes. Let's go back to this side. Here's our whole notes. So listen for it. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, we go back to harmony here. And you can tell, right? When you listen to that melody, it doesn't have the third harmony below it anymore. The tone, actually, interestingly, of these notes starts on one duty cycle and changes to another, right? So it's got an attack at the beginning. The NES has like set duty cycles, meaning if you imagine a sine wave, or not a sine wave, but a square wave, that's perfectly 50-50, one side in a crest, the other side in a trough. That's like, I guess, as pure sounding of a sine wave or of a square wave as you can get. But you can change that on a NES to set amounts like 12.5 and 25%. And it gives it a different tone. And then you can mess with it even further and do an envelope of a sound where you start for the fraction of a second at the beginning, almost as if you're plucking something. When you pluck a guitar string or something, there's a bit of a different sound on the attack with the pick versus when it's ringing out, right? And so that's the kind of sound that we're emulating here with this. So now we get into like some kind of seventh here in bar 12. Let's go back and listen at a slower speed so we can make sure we get it. Let's go 70-ish. That's a 7, right? Oops. Because this is the chord, it's B flat. Yeah, so we have the 7 of the B flat, which is A flat, which is not in our key signature. So let's add that note, A flat. I think it happens a few times. Dun, dun, dun. And let's hear. Just the whole bar. They really, now, as you may or may not know, when I have a chord like B flat major 7, that chord wants to resolve down to, don't worry, you see a key on the side, I just realized, it says C major, don't worry about that. This set of notes is a B flat major 7. In fact, actually, you know what, I can turn that on. 1 second. So there we go. B flat 7 is the chord. That tends to want to resolve to an E flat. And it's not necessarily going to be voiced this way in the music, but the notes are there, right? This note in particular, this A flat that's popping up there, wants to go down to G. So G is the middle of the major third triad, I should say, of E flat. So it makes sense that we have for that whole bar. It's a really strong tendency to fall down to G. So it makes sense that we have so much tension on that A flat, finally getting that peace of mind, so to speak, the release of going down to G. In that spot there. Nice. Okay. So let's listen at full speed to the original. At the spot with the whole notes, if we can find it. Here is our original speed. And here we go. Whole notes starting now. There it is. Let's listen to my version here, see if it's correct. Yes. Excellent. Good. Let's continue. I'm going to slow it back down so we can not miss a second here. So that's the melody. Let's make sure we got the harmony. I think it's that. Let's try that and see if that sounds right. Da, 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 da. So that's going to be E flat, C, C, D. Oops. There we go. Let's listen to just this little section, see if we like it. And just this little section. And now listen to it without playing those little notes in between. Da, 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 da. I think it goes up. Or maybe I'm listening to the bass. Ooh, that's hard to tell. It might be a G. Because the bass definitely hits a G, right? That's this part, dun, 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 dun. So let's listen to that harmony one more time if we can. I'm not convinced. I mean, I would, if I was composing this, I would make it a G, but I did not compose this. Or not a G, I'd make it a D. I'm in doubt. Let's listen. And now let's change it to a G and see if we think that's more accurate. That might be it. I'm gonna leave it at that for now. I'm not sure I like it, but who cares? Okay. Let's slow it down, make sure that we've got it. Oof. It's hard to get the inner voicings, I think. Generally speaking. I'm changing that back, but know that I'm conflicted. Dun, 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 dun. So it's actually in this little section. Dun, dun, dun. I think it's D there then, maybe. Let's see. Ah, hang on. Boop, 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 boop. F, G, G, F, E flat, E flat. That's definitely what it is. Dun, 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 dun. In that section. That I'm convinced of. Dun, 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 dun. Let's listen from our conflicting note here. So that's interesting. The bass and harmony are on the same note here. And then, what do we go up to? This is implying, hang on. This spot here for sure is implying a F dominant chord because we walk down in the next bar with an amen cadence. And to a B flat major chord, and F diminished definitely wants to go to B flat major, right? The chord before that is like a 4 or 5 resolution. It's making me doubt whether this is an E flat, but you know, there's only so many notes. You can't flesh out a whole chord. It's certainly not a dominant chord in with NES hardware. Boo, 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 boo. That's the harmony there. Doo, 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 doo. So the bass and the harmony part have a little walk down together. Very cute. Do, 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 do. There it is. Let's listen to the whole thing so far, just to make sure we've got it. Because now, the only thing that's left is our B section. And we want to be right on that. How long is a B section? 8 bars? Let's see. We're going to listen at full speed. Get it in context, yo. Here we go. Listen to the inner voice, see if we've got it. Okay, that's it. Let's listen to our version and see if we've got it. I'm a little bit dubious about that. I want to listen again. Oh. Also, I think that's still a D. Yeah. So it's, I mean, this here is definitely anticipating this chord. So you can tell that, like, some tricks that composers use to flesh out the chords, of course, is to make sure that the bass is hopping around and kind of spelling out a little bit of the chord. So in a section like that, oh, I've had my chords on the whole time, haven't I? Well, at least that helps us to see this. We have like a B flat major chord kind of spelled out. If we ignore that root, there's our B flat major, and then the next is this. Oops. It might even be that. I don't know. I'm gonna listen and make sure that I've got it. I'm getting myself all confused now. Yeah, that's still what it is. So this is like a like an F over A, and then we should have a G minor afterwards. G minor, and then the next one is I think D minor over F. But then this here is like an anticipation of the next chord, which I think makes it a major 7. I would say so, at least. And anyway, I was getting myself unsure about some things here. I'm gonna move this. We don't really need to see the yes, squish resolution, because why not? Gotta fit all my info on the screen. Okay, so let's go back and see what we're dealing with here. Okay, so let's yeah, right so far. I can't ignore that. It feels like that. Okay, let's see if mine's right. That feels right to me. Yeah. I ask myself maybe sometimes, why am I transposing this? This is an interesting game because it came out for both the NES and the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo has, of course, been out since, 1990, 1991? When did the Super Nintendo come out? Oops. In Japan, it was 1990. In North America, it was 1991. Almost a year later. Exactly. So, interesting that the original Nintendo games are being made another 3 years later. Anyway, let's continue. And this time, I'm going to start with, I don't know, I played this game on the emulation for the Switch, that you get with Switch Online. And I got really into it, and I beat it in like a week. Not to brag or anything like that. You know, they give you lots of opportunities to save states and things like this. But, you know, it's like capitalizing on that puzzle craze that happened in the 90s. It's an okay game, but I got really into it. And this song made me really happy because it plays every single time that Toad walks from one stage to another after beating Wario's butt. So let's listen first of all to how many bars long it is. And then we'll put our repeat sign at the very end of that. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, and easy. 8 bars long. So just 3 more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we'll delete all these extra bars. And we'll make this bar lines a end repeat. And as you know, music theory people, that an end repeat signifies that you go back to the beginning of the piece of music if there is no other repeat sign of the opposite variety, the start repeat sign. So let's start this time with the bass line, just because usually when I'm building a piece of music I start with the bass line, but because the song was so stuck in my head I started with a melody because sometimes that's just how it goes. Okay, let's listen. And I'm going to slow it down because this B section is definitely a part that I know less well. Here we go. Do, 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 do. Tell that the chord being implied is C minor and then D major, I think, or maybe it's C. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So slightly different rhythm, right? It's not quite that clavy that we had before. So now this time it's definitely quarter notes. Rest. And we might have that 8th note as staccato. Let's go back. Maybe. Let's listen. Well, I think this would be a dotted. So those are half notes to start with. And then we have something that's out of the key. So we got a dotted. Dun, 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 dun. And then would you have like octave things? Let's listen. Oh, hang on, I got that slightly wrong. Do. That's a very video gamey thing. Makes it sound a little bit bigger and a little bit disco. I think it's a whole bar of that, so we'll just copy paste 4 times. And then the next bar is the same thing but on D, semitone lower. I'm pretty sure we had that almost exact same thing, right? But we have it slightly different. So not only is it an octave higher, but it's not staccato, and we have a little extra 8th note there. On F, because this is our leading chord back to our home. Should that be staccato, do you think? Yeah, I'm gonna make it staccato. Bum 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 bum. Very short notes. And those, on the other hand, are not short. Let's listen to that section full speed. Just making sure we got our bass line down. Starting at about 20 seconds, so we'll go here. Let's follow along. C, 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 D, D, D. Nice. That looks right to me. Let's listen. Yes, love it. Now let's get into the melody, because as I said, in my humble opinion, I think the inner voices are much harder to discern. So let's try and get that melody. Let's go down to 70 speed again, 70%. So, da da da. Dun, dun, and that's a tied note, because 1, 2, and it carries on to the next few beats. Da 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 da. So. So there's, remember we had the implied D major before? There's our D major chord outlined. Da 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 da. So oops. Da da. I would consider that a C sharp, because we're moving down to a different note. Da 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 da. And so these notes are all in the key of D major. Da 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 da. Now I gotta remember how to do triplets in this program. I think I gotta do half note triplets. Let's see if I've got it. That's nope. Da 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 da. And then I'm just gonna copy paste because I don't want to struggle with that. Da 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 da. And then I think we hang out on that note for a while. Let's listen and see if we've got it. Starting from da 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 da. And I think it might be a whole note. Yeah. Da 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 da. So, let's listen to that last part again. Da 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 da. So. If it sounds, the rhythm sounds off, it's because there's a bit of a delay there. Bum, da, da, da. So, da, 1 and 2 and 3. So it's a dotted quarter note. So let's fix that. Dotted. Dun, da. And then it was the same thing again. Da, da, da. And this one's just running around on D, C, and B flat. Ba-da-da. Oops. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That should be a 8th note. Oops. Da-da-na-na-na. And if we need to change the timing of that, we'll change the timing of that. Let's listen at full speed. The whole B section. Whoa, there we go. And that, yeah, that definitely lasts the whole bar at the very end there. If you were a human breathing into an instrument, you would need to take a breath, so you wouldn't quite do that, right? Sorry, I'm thinking about the bass line. Now the hard part, the inner voice. Let's see if we can do that. This is where I definitely need to make sure the speed is slow to get it. So, I think it just is on E flat the whole time in that first bar. Yeah. Just like that. So it's the same rhythm. Often the harmony is in the same rhythm as the melody. That sounds right to me. And let's see if the rest of it can make sense to us. So, I wonder if it's meant to harmonize or meant to be in the same rhythm as the bass. It's hard to tell. I would call that a whole note on D. So, da 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 da. It's the melody that spells out the D major chord in there. Otherwise, the other instruments are on D, it seems. We should be able to tell because there's a rest at the very beginning of that bar that they're both playing in unison, an octave apart. Yeah. So let's listen to that melody again. Something like that. I think that's it. Well, that F sharp really lasts a long time. So we're going to copy this because it's the same rhythm as that. I think is what it is. But you know what? We're going to come back and fix the whole thing later if need be. And then I think we've got it might be, yeah, that might be too simple. So it's the same note both times here. F, I think. Yeah, so it's like this. So I need to switch back to my Meticulous app so I can see what I'm looking at here. So we've got essentially what amounts to an E sus chord. If I were to move that F to a G, then it would be a an E flat major chord. But instead, we are suspending to the next chord, which is a B flat with a D root. So same rhythm again as this. Ba, ba, ba. F both times. And then only 2 more bars to figure out, and then we're done. So let's see if we've got it. Da 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 da. Let's see if it harmonizes with that. It's like just like syncs and plays the same note. I would I call it an E natural. I would call it this. So it's like what, C major all the way through there? C add 9. Oops. Whoops. And this is implying my chord chart is dumb. I would call this an F7, right? Not an E flat. What was that? E flat 6 sharp 11 sus 2. I think that makes more sense if we call that an F major 7 over E flat. I might make those 8th notes, but I don't know about that. Okay, let's just listen to our B section and see if we've got it. At full speed. Here we go. It's almost like da 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 da. I'm gonna do that. Da 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 da. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, now let's listen to mine. Da da da. Actually, well, because I changed something, I want to listen to it again. Here we go. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so there is definitely a clash of notes in here, and I don't know if I did that right. Da, 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 da. I might make that a F, since we have an F in the bass, an F and an F sharp. Together might not sound great. Let's go back to our slow speed and see if we can detect that exact spot. It might be F both times. Da, 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 da. Let's listen. That's it for sure. I think we have the whole song. Let's remind ourselves what it sounds like, and then let's listen to the whole thing. I'm very satisfied with that transcription. I really like that. You can tell in a place like this, if they had the bandwidth for it, they would have that harmony still in this section, right? They just added a counter melody. But because you only got 4 tracks on the NES, you roll with this. And you know, I get the sense that with some of these composers, like you could have done some fancy rhythm stuff, right? Like dun 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 dun. You could have had the percussion line up with this line here too, but maybe, you know, Soyo is not a percussionist or something, or maybe she liked how this drum part sounded consistent all the way through. To each their own, right? Oh, thank you for joining me on this lovely journey. If you want some more Overtone Warpzone content, you can check me out anywhere that podcasts are found for music theory on some of your favorite video game themes, particularly from the Super Smash Bros. Soundtrack. So lots of different franchises represented there. I also do some video game covers and other variety content on my YouTube channel, Overtone Warpzone, which you are watching this on right now. So take a look at some of my other videos to see what's going on. Thanks for listening, folks, and we'll catch ya in the next one. All right.